Hi, Guido Fox here. Welkom bij een nieuw book report. Today I want to discuss with you this wonderful book from Yogananda. It's an autobiography of the yogi Yogananda, and at least 550 pages of information about spiritual awakening, spiritual evolution, moral conduct, and becoming a perfect being. I mean, striving towards a perfect being, striving to make optimal results of your life, making the best out of your soul, the best out of your soul. That is your purpose here on earth, making the best out of your life, right? Because if you're working on yourself, if you're working about your own self, your own soul, your own personality, if you're becoming a mirror for yourself, then you get so much more positive reflections from the world outside you. So it is not a real egoistic thing. It is, if you're working on self-love, self-development, knowing yourself, you will have also so much more to give towards other people. So it is always a win-win situation here. So it is a biography from the yogi Yogananda, and on page X511, that's also the beginning pages, some other people were writing some comments about him, and one of the comments is there was a light of spirituality that literally was shining from him. He was really dragging the energy of spirituality. He was really feeling the inner awakening activations, and it was really shining outwards him with his friendly, peaceful, and relaxing face. So people recognizes this spirituality realm of calmness and relaxing vibe, his light vibe around him that was literally shining from him, and people were really recognized it, that light field of spirituality around him. He lifted people by his appearance, by his talks. Literally, if he was coming close by you, he were lifting you to a higher spiritual state of consciousness. So humankind is operating on 100 CL, and I talked so much in the Hawkins videos. You have to watch this back on my YouTube channel or read the blogs about Hawkins, his CL consciousness levels theory. And humankind is operating on 100 consciousness levels, and he was operating on 8,000-9,000, very high conscious level, and he was really raising you up out of the mediocre vibration where you are in. You are raised up, you are functioning in the 100 CL matrix frequency, And you can say, Guido, you are crazy. Guido, you are drunk. You're talking nonsense. But look at all my videos. Look all the things I read. Look how much meditation I did. Look all my studies I did in my life. Then you can also say, oh, Guido, maybe you are right. You're a quite knowledgeable guy. Maybe. And I'm open for your highly spiritual energy. I'm open for this kind of spiritual knowledge. I can work on myself. I will read your stuff and I will try it at least. Then I am happy too. If you try to become more vulnerable and more open for this kind of knowledge and feeling energy. So that's the whole thing, right? About spirituality. If you're staying closed for it, and I know you're closed because your ego don't want to go in meditation because your ego will resistance about it. Your ego will be afraid to change. So your soul wants to change. Your soul wants to go to a higher calibration level. Your soul wants to raise up, but there's always an underlying fight against the evil, against the ego in yourself, the ego where you grow up with it, the ego from the matrix influencing, who is a fight between your inner soul and your inner ego saying, no, no change. I want to stay the same patterns in my life. I want to stay the same fossil. What I talked with you the last video. Always stay the same person because your ego is an stuck mechanism. Your ego has an ego wall who wants to protect him or herself against critics. So no, I am the best, you're wrong, you're stupid, I am right. All those kind of ego mechanisms are in your mind why you don't change. Let's start it with page 29, and he's repeating this in his work. Last video I talked about the 7 hours of meditation, and here he talks about the 8 hours meditation per night for a while. So I really want to discover also this journey. I'm now doing half an hour meditation, do some work, half an hour meditation again, half hour meditation again, to stay also physical and mentally active, because he talked also about that part. If you're doing meditation too long, you're becoming mentally lazy, but you can also start with more the extreme forms and sometimes put a day of meditation in your schedule to do. Okay, we do now 8 hours meditation. Okay, we do now 3 hours meditation, or we go doing now a half hour meditation. So change your meditation schedules to really know what your body needs and wants and what is fitting by your DNA system. You work maybe different than others. I work different than you. So also meditation schedules can be optimized personally. It is not a fixed schedule I give to you. This works the best for your mental state, for your consciousness state, for uplifting your calibration levels. No, it's for everyone. Has different meditations schedules, but he said, okay, we do sometimes 7 hours, 8 hours meditation per night or during the day. Try it out, mix it, see what it's doing with your body. It is just like a bodybuilder who is doing different schedules and food schedules, and then he picks up a bicep curl before the back, and then he takes a pec fly before training your calves, or you do your calves not at the end of the training, but you start with your calf training before. So there are different schedules what can work for you. Mix it, try it out. I think that is very healthy. Do a fixed schedule for a week, do a mixed schedule for a week. Also, there you can change in your meditation schedules. So he told this Yogananda that it has to be a tremendous spiritual process when you're doing also long meditation hours. And I think a lot of trash are coming out of your mental system. A lot of trash, a lot of things from the past karma, negative events coming out of your meditation. So you can also feel a little bit bad. And that is normal. It's not only Hosanna here when you meditate, but there comes a lot of trash out of it. But maybe a week after or days after, you will feel more refreshed because all the dirt is coming out, and the meditation is a healing process. So all the healing will be done there for your system, right? So healing and meditation and healing cause some pain sometimes. No pain, no gain, they say in the gym. So also here, the same philosophy. You have to go sometimes in your meditation hour through the pain. So if you're going through the pain, that is actually a good thing. So don't be aware that with the long sessions of meditation, there can become some dirt material out of your system. Page 40, and he told you becoming an high-souled being. If you're going into spirituality, I told you earlier and told you later in this video, you're breaking the 365,000 years of human evolution. You're breaking the normal pattern of human evolution. Therefore, Jesus said, I am too early on this earth. I stop with giving my energy to big folks. I'm focused on the few disciples one-to-one to share my spiritual knowledge and my wonderful, peaceful, ecstatic energy transferring energies. So, spirituality is for the chosen ones who are already further in their evolutionary path. We're going to all the different stages in life and have a very high intellectual brain power mechanism. So spirituality is for the chosen ones. Religion is for the crowd. Spirituality is only for the few who really go through all the stages of life, who discovered nearly everything in life, and then they come on the spiritual path. Then they grow out of religion, they grow out of material fulfilling mechanism. And therefore, Osho was saying also, spirituality is for the royal families. They had everything. They had financial abundance. They had intimacy abundance. They had everything they need. Food, shelter, water, whatever. And there was nothing else to know. They were fed up with matrix. They were fed up with governing the government. They were fed up with ruling over a country. Buddha was fed up to become an emperor. He could be a king, but he was fed up with the matrix. Therefore, he escaped the palace. So spirituality is for the chosen few, for the few people who are ready to escape this world. Escape this world and break the evolutionary path of humankind. Interesting to understand how it works. Becoming an high souled being, raising up your soul, raising up your level of consciousness. That is what he said on page 40. We're making a big step. We're going to page 149. And 149, he told Yogananda, is the wisdom with atoms. When you create the specks of life in your inner body, the specks of light, maybe you recognize my words from the last videos. Specks of life, the light rails, they call it also. The light rails in your body, the specks of life. Your atoms, your body atoms, will become more different. If your inner awakening shines in your body, you become a highly souled being, then your atoms gonna work different, and your wisdom is not going to the regular matrix shaped brains. Your brain's gonna work different. They making the step in the evolutionary stages. So your brain's gonna work different. Your brain's worked through the chakra awakenings, and especially if you're playing Spiritual Champions League from the crown chakra. So if you're feeling your crown chakra awakenings, I only know that's for only a few on this earth, to feel the magnetic powers, the blissful powers of the crown chakra. That's wonderful, amazing, blissful feeling if you can hold your crown chakra awakening, the Sahasrara. Then your brains will be functioning through the crown chakra from your inner awakening line on your heart row. So you have the Hidrada opening, the 3 hearts on your row, and the energy shifts to your crown chakra. And if it happens that you're a really high soul being and you cannot do anything wrong anymore, you will be a moral contact being. You are full with peaceful love. You cannot steal anymore. You cannot think about the murder of someone. You cannot think about bad things. You cannot hurt someone anymore. You can protect yourself, yes, but you cannot do anything wrong anymore because you're so unbelievable, peaceful inside that it is not possible anymore to do something moralize from. So here the real wisdom is coming. You're speaking from the mouth of God. You're speaking from the mouth of godliness. You're speaking from chakra activation. So your wisdom will be coming from a higher source. Your wisdom is not coming from the matrix rationality. Your wisdom is coming from the inner source. That's other kind of wisdom. It's a higher wisdom. Only a few on this earth can reach this high planetary skill of functioning, speaking from the inner truth. That is what he taught here. Wisdom with atoms, wisdom with specks of light, wisdom from changing the atoms in your body, your whole functioning differently if you feel your inner blissfulness. He referring on page 252 to the Yoga-System of Patanjali. Maybe you recognize this teacher Patanjali. Maybe you recognize him, Patanjali. He wrote about more the moral things, about spirituality. So what is good behavior, what is bad behavior. What I want to share with you two interesting things, two interesting references Yogananda made. And there's one yama and one asana. Yama means moral contact. So if you want to grow in spirituality, you have to go into the moral contact behavioral patterns. I talked with you so much on the beginning of my journey about the Hawkins books. I recommended to watch the Hawkins series. It's really about thousands of pages of information. What is good behavior? What is better behavior? What is worse behavior? To know what you can do in kind of circumstances, what you can do with problems who are coming to you, what is good behavior, what is bad behavior. Because if you know that, and I told you earlier in this video, then also your inner energetic system will be work better and you get better reflections from the outside world, and that is also very good for you. So here's a vicious circle. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you get good results from the outside world, you get better inner system, you create better moral contact, and you get also another time better reflections from the outside world. It starts by the friendly face of the coffee women who serve your coffee. If you're coming with a bad attitude inside, you get a bad face back. It works like very small, thinny things. The mirror is not a big mirror in the society, but also very small mirrors who get reflections there. So moral conduct, very important to read about it and to understand how it works. That's yama. The other thing I found very, very important is asana. And asana is finding the right posture. Your posture, your body language. I remember my ex were saying to me, "You have such a wonderful body language. You see that you're meditated with a wonderful, graceful, prince-like vibe." The most people are walking like this on the street, are walking badly with non-grace. They're walking like robots. They're not going to the gym, you see it. They're not walking easily. You have to find a prince-like walk. Everyone can be a prince. Everyone can be a prince, a spiritual prince or princess, right? A wonderful attitude is so important for your spiritual growth. So it is body, it is mind, it is moral conduct, it is chakra activations, it is Adam reasoning, it is Eve feeling. And it's all those things together what makes you an highly sought being. All those puzzle pieces are coming together to raise your soul and you up. Page 6267, the 365,000 years of evolution. And I told that you already earlier, it's a shortcut. Spirituality is a shortcut in the evolutionary process. And I really learned that from Yogananda. I really learned the shortcut. That evolution can be shortcutted with spirituality. The matrix brings you nowhere. The school systems brings you nowhere. The universities brings you nowhere, only to a working job. And that is hard to say for all those teachers, but I was going through all those school systems. The family brings you nowhere. Believe me. Family systems, school systems, work systems brings you nowhere. You have to find the right teachers. You have to find the right books. I know the Osho books are not in the libraries here in Amsterdam. They cannot be found easily. Even the books of the highly intellectual, highly gifted, highly spiritual Osho is 400 books. You have to search in the rock. You have to search down under in the rock, in the bottom of the rock. You can find maybe his books. So spirituality is really secret knowledge. It's only for the chosen ones who were coming to find the diamond, in the rock, graving in all the knowledges, and then you find the diamond on internet. You're finding Guido Fox, the life coach. Then you find the diamond. Then you find Gandalf the White somewhere in the woods. Gandalf the White somewhere in his tower, far and far above Earth. You understand what I mean, right? It is difficult to find real sources because all your teachers or the famous teachers are mostly fake teachers because they are recognized by the crowd. And that's the paradox here. More popular you are, then you are linked with the crowd. If you're singing folk songs, you're probably very popular. If you're moving into deep intellectual spiritual knowledge, you're probably unpopular. And Jesus was very unpopular in his time. He was recognized only 200-300 years after his death. The same with Buddha, 5, 6, 7 years after his death he was becoming famous. So understand this principle that the more you're moving to crowd frequencies, the more popular you probably are. And if you escape the matrix frequencies, then you move away from the crowd. You're not belong anymore there. You're, what Osho said, you're going paradoxical until society. You're going move away. It is hacks. It is very far from normal evolutionary development. Siddha 332. Siddha, becoming a perfect being, striving towards a perfect being. He told about it. Striving towards a perfect being is escaping from the reincarnation round. And if you are becoming a highly souled being, and if you're becoming awaked, and if you're feeling the little bit the spikes of light in your body, there is no reason to come back on earth anymore, no reason to come back in this reincarnation round, because it will be very hurtful for you to become awaked in the schools. You're falling out of the boat there. It will be a much more hurting process, and you already did this process. You already did it. You already overcome the test on Earth. I will not say that you're going to another planetary environment. That's possible, to another planet, or probably there's some life on another planet, of course, I think. But definitely you're not coming back on Earth as a human or an animal or a tree or whatever. You discover everything here on Earth, and that's time for a new phase. It's time for a new phase for you if you escaped evolution and if you escaped the reincarnation round. It's a very interesting mechanism. And I remember a seminar of Theosophy, also there on the Theosophical school, there also agree with this reincarnation round. So page 469, yeah, God truth. Always think about God, seeking God first. First on the day, meditate first. God taught, always think about your line. I talk with Julia already so much about it. Quickly to the next topic is the Shiva Destroyer-Renovator. The Shiva Destroyer-Renovator, about Hinduism. Shiva, for the people who are following Hinduism. Shiva is the destroyer-renovator. I have to destroy your ego. Your ego has to be destroyed fully to the ground. All the ego mechanism has to come down. Then your moral conduct is coming higher, right? I talked with you already about moral conduct. That means actually all the ego mechanisms has to be dissolved. Dissolving the ego in your soul. So it is moral conduct higher, ego down in your soul mechanism. Ego down, soul up. So therefore it is Shiva, the destroyer, renovator. First destroying your old personality. Destroying your old matrix-shaped personality. Destroying and renovate it again. To create a new life. To create a new perspective on life. To create a new inner awakening. To create a new dimension. To renovate your house. Therefore, the most people stay fossils because they didn't renovate their house. You have to renovate your house. You have to spiritual clean your system, because otherwise you're staying stuck. So Shiva, the destroyer, renovator. And here you see spirituality can be dangerous for you. Can be dangerous for your ego. And you see here that religion in the deepest essence is something very dangerous, can be very hard. It's not for everyone. Can be very hurtful. Religion is not only peace and nice and sharing and singing in the church. It has to be hurtful. It has to be confronting. It has to be a powerful mechanism. Religion is too much soft. There is no hard power. It is soft power and hard power. But religion is too soft. There's no mirroring. There's no confronting here. That's what I read here in Shiva the Destroyer-Renovator. It's a very hard term, right? I destroy you. Jesus said, I come with fire and fury. I come with fire and fury to your soul. He talked about destroyer-renovator. So building your personality again to a higher level. That is what Yogi said, Yogananda, and therefore the reference to Shiva. Thank you for watching this video and I'll see you by the next one. Bye bye!